Welcome to Com Nation.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
It started with the evolution of the internet, making it something that we could just hook into directly. Your mind, the hard drive, your eyes, the screen. See the world through any skin you wanted. 1940s Noir filter, done. Manga filter, why not? See things as you want them to be. I was hired by a woman to see if her husband was buying skins. The real world is hard. It wears you down. That's probably why I got sloppy. What is it?
There's been an accident.
Welcome to Com Nation.
Mm-hmm. To be clear.
Yes.
It's coming.
So those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. Those of you who are not here for the first time, welcome back.
Absolutely. Always happy to have you.
Exactly. Today is Prime Day. Or is it today or tomorrow, or does it start today? Anyway, Prime Day.
It starts today, ends tomorrow. Actually, it's 2-day Prime Day. Woo woo.
But Amazon Prime, if you're an Amazon member, and I am, you have on Prime Day, we are. You get access to Prime Day deals. You get, and also you get access to Prime Video. And then there's, of course, there's Prime Reading, which is not to be confused with Kindle Unlimited or comiXology or comiXology Unlimited. Right. And tonight we're doing Clear, which is one of the comiXology originals that Amazon offers. Now, so originally, or not, this is available digitally. But ultimately, it will be collected and published by Dark Horse if you're somebody who absolutely positively needs to have the book on the shelf. But right now, it's available. I think it's only available through Amazon and Amazon-like channels. But in honor of Prime Day, and because I've been reading it for a while, tonight we're talking about Clear, to be clear.
Yeah. Crystal.
Now, if you're watching us live, yay! If you're watching us live, you get to go. You can plug in here and watch live and play along live. If you're not, where the heck were you? Join us Tuesdays at 9, and you can come and play live. If not, catch us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. We have our videos there. But right before you plug in, let's take care of the paperwork now. Get on the website so you can play along, like, follow, subscribe, hit the bells, hit the whistles, hit the hearts, so that next time you will not fail to be here at 9 on Tuesday.
For all the fun. Live.
And by the way, all the fun and the bad jokes and the really bad jokes and the worst puns. Oh, you don't want to miss that, do you?
No.
Hit all the buttons.
Not.
So hit the buttons. Yeah. But also,
all the panes,
and just
PANES, like panes of glass, because they're clear.
Really?
You said bad jokes and bad puns. Come on.
Hey, wanted to say there's a bunch of rules and regulations about the game, but go check them out on our website, com-nation.com. But in the meantime, let's get started.
Big countdown.
Starting the countdown. When was comiXology launched?
Back to the dawn of the internet.
No, not really. So, comiXology.com was originally launched in July 2007. It was an online community for comic book fans.
Yeah.
And the website allowed readers to identify upcoming releases and develop pull lists. Do you remember pull lists?
I do. Used to have one in a store. Now I have one online. That's kind of how that works.
Exactly. And slowly but surely, it offered. It started to offer downloads and started to get a little bit more in. And currently, it's what we all know as one of the avenues for where you can get your comics online.
Right. Yeah. Learned about new stuff.
Exactly. And speaking of new stuff,
yes,
comiXology has a lot of original.
They do.
Which of these is not a comiXology original? By the way, also one of the ones that isn't a comiXology original, but is a digital comic and something you should check out, is Cupid's Arrows, which is a Tom Zoller book. I think it's available via Webtoons. Stanley and the Forgotten Forest. I've completely forgotten where that one's available, but it's available digitally. But Molly Danger. Molly Danger is not a comiXology original. Molly Danger is by
Jamal Engel, who we all love and adore, and great guy.
Exactly.
Done lots of fun books, Supergirl over the years. And then he introduced his own character, who's this teenage girl.
Molly Danger.
Molly Danger.
And I do believe he is working with comiXology now, and he will in the future. He will be doing some comiXology originals. And if and when he does, we know Jamal. So, we're going to hit him up.
Absolutely.
We're going to have him come on the show. You're going to, And
we might do this about Molly Danger down the line, too.
Yeah, but Molly Danger isn't available digitally, and it's a little hard for us.
Yeah.
So,
we'll see.
But tonight we're talking about the comiXology original Clear, right?
Yeah. Right. Just to be clear.
What year is Clear set in? It's not current day. It's that post-apocalyptic future.
Yeah. Like those Blade Runner-y sort of...
Yeah, and now Blade Runner was set in what year?
Originally, 2040...
43.
43, right. And then the sequel was 49. Yes, right. Yes.
Exactly. 2044, by the way, that was the setting, the year for Ready Player One. 2058, that was Lost in Space. And 2053, 2053, that was the year, not when Star Trek was space, but that's the year, that was a very relevant year for Star Trek that we'll talk a little bit later about. But yeah, Clear is set in 2052, which is, Now, according to Clear, we lost World War III, which was also known as what? And I was mentioning in Star Trek, 2053 is when World War III happened. World War III is very common in post-apocalyptic sci-fi.
Yeah, it's always usually that kind of clean slate, start over, come up with something better. Hopefully more utopian. Sometimes not.
It's when, it's like all of these sort of dark science fiction things. There's always a World War III. It was never like,
Yeah.
But in Clear, it's called the Red War. It lasted, a week? Not even? It was...
Not even. Overdone, cleared out the rubble, and off we go.
Yeah. And yet, somehow.
Exactly. Yeah. Never a great thing.
Now in Clear, we've got a main character.
Of course.
And our main character does what as a day job?
Daytime, nighttime, supper time too.
So one of the reasons that I put insurance salesman was because there's a very strong noir vibe with Clear.
Yes.
It feels like one of those classic
Chandler-esque
detective.
Dashiell Hammett, like
Yeah.
whatever.
And
Robert.
one of the and there's a whole bunch of stories and there's a whole bunch of movies. Now, and if you remember Double Indemnity.
Mm-hmm. With the dad from My Three Sons and the mom from Big
Exactly, Fred McMurray. He was an insurance salesman. So I picked that one. But yeah, a lot of times the noir films, there's either like a drifter or a mob enforcer or a writer or whatnot.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it all out.
That's right. Trying to solve it.
But in Clear, our lead character is a detective.
Yes.
And his name is,
like all good detectives,
it's not San Francisco. That's
Nope.
the character from Alien Nation. Remember Alien Nation?
Yep. Mandy Patinkin plays him. James Conner refuses to call him San Francisco, so he calls him George.
Yep. That was both the movie and the TV series. Then there was Sam Diamond,
who's the character Peter Falk plays in the movie Murder by Death, which is a spoof of All the Great Detectives, and he's basically riffing on Bogey, who was the original Sam Spade.
Sam Spade. And yeah. Now, for an additional no points, who is Raymond Chandler's classic noir detective?
That would be Philip Marlowe.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Played by a whole slew of different guys, including James Garner, and Rupert Mitchum, and
yeah. All right. So it's a noir, so you know that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
He's a detective, and he gets hired. He gets hired by a dame,
as they usually do.
She's gonna get him in trouble. You think she's gonna get him in trouble? What's her name, by the way?
Well, usually the dames that show up at these guys' offices bring trouble with them, whether they intend to or not.
So, the dame in this case is Petal Matters.
That's right. Whereas Vivian Rutledge is the classic dame from The Big Sleep, which Bogey played Philip Marlowe, and Vivian is played by Lauren Bacall, because, you can't have a Bogey without a Bacall. Right?
Yep. And Maddie Walker, that's from Body Heat with Kathleen Turner.
And William Hurt, which was a 1980s twist on the film noir classic.
Yep. Again, with an insurance scam. Yep.
Yeah. And Eve Kendall was the girl who may have been in the wrong place, not wrong time, or may have actually been something more in North by Northwest when she ran into Cary Grant's character on a train. You haven't seen it? Watch
Dames on a Train. Yes. Always got to be a problem.
That's right. Just ask Gene Wilder.
Now, Sam, he's got a contact on the police force, because these guys always have a contact on the police force.
It's a trope.
Which one's
Friends
his?
on force.
And it's Sergeant Collins. Now, Sergeant Collins, it turns out, he's an old army buddy of our friend Sam.
Yes. Which also tends to be the case from a lot of those classic stories, which were taking place right after World War II. Obviously, in this case, it's right after World War III, but still the army buddy. So
yeah.
These
are guys who've been through the trenches with you, and they're willing to help. My personal favorite from this list is Sergeant Becker. If any of you were fans of the Rockford Files, he's the guy who was always helping out his buddy Rock.
Yep. Played by James Garner, who also, at one point in time, played Philip Marlowe.
Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. My favorite was Sergeant Stebbins because he's part of Nero Wolf's crew.
Mm-hmm.
The old Nero Wolf.
Did you notice, though, they were all sergeants? It's like,
Yeah. You have to be like Batman level to get a commissioner. Usually, if you're just an average detective, you just get a desk sergeant.
But they all get sergeants. They don't get, like, a clerk or something.
No.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Now, Clear, it's 2052. It's post-apocalyptic. What city is it set in? I gotta say, most of the noirs that I know and I love, they're almost always set in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Black Dahlia, which was a real case, was set in Los Angeles. Almost all of Raymond Chandler's stories were in Los Angeles.
Walter Mosley's stories with Easy Rollins are all set, for the most part, in Los Angeles. I think his character goes back to New Orleans at one point, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this one's set in San Francisco, which
harken back to one of the other originals, because Dashiell Hammett, who did the Thin Man in the Maltese Falcon, actually worked as a detective in San Francisco. So he kept his characters close to home.
Yeah, it's where he knows. It's where he knows.
Yes.
So he's not only in San Francisco, but he's in a specific neighborhood. And what's his neighborhood called?
These are the criminals in your neighborhood.
It's not Haight-Ashbury, which was famous for in the 60s. It's not Castro.
No.
It's Big New. Now, all the rest of these are actual neighborhoods and famous neighborhoods in San Francisco. But the Big New, that's a fictitious one that apparently was made just for this.
Right. Big New.
The Big New. Now,
I wonder if it's supposed to be new or the Big No. Like, no, don't go in there. But
I'm going with new.
Okay.
Now, Clear has these filters. They've talked about it a little bit in the trailer. It's like you can use these filters and see the world you want to see. They're not holodecks.
Yeah.
That's from Star Wars or Star Trek. Shoot me. They're not nukes. They're not. Nukes are from.
No. Nukes are a Marvel thing. One of the other times they tried to recreate the super soldier serum, and they actually even showed up in the Jessica Jones series. If you watch the Netflix.
And wasn't nuke a drug in RoboCops?
RoboCop 2 as well, yes.
And mimetics, that was something that was developed. The mimetic devices was something that was developed in Stargate SG-1. It wasn't that you would see something differently, but it was something that you would be seen differently. But in Clear, they call them veils. Now, veils seem to be something that they seem to be like nanobots that they're technology, but you don't necessarily wear them as much as ingest them.
Mm-hmm.
And then
they tap into that internet feed in your head.
Mm-hmm. Because everybody's connected all the time now.
All the time, yeah.
All the time.
Yes. Always connected.
So obviously, veils are super important. And there's legal veils, and then there's, of course, illegal veils called black veils.
Right.
And who does Sam think is running most of the black veil traffic?
Mama? No, not the mama.
Nah, it's a bad guy. He refers to as Alcaten.
Mm-hmm.
So these alternates, let's see. Agent 99 isn't a bad guy. Agent 99 was a female spy for Control from
Get Smart, originally played by Barbara Feldon in the TV show and reinvented quite nicely by Anne Hathaway in the somewhat funny movie with the same name.
Yep. And Mama that's short for Madeline Madrigal, who was a drug queenpin, and and the sole supplier of sole supplier of slow-mo, who was, and in the movie, this was in the latest Judge Dredd movie, played by
Carl Urban, played Dredd.
Okay.
And Mama was played by Lena Headey.
Yep. And then the other one we had was La Fiera.
Yes. It was the, again, drug queenpin from the TV show The Rookie.
Yep. We just kind of hit upon a lot of fake female drug queens. You know, because that glass ceiling is shattering for crime.
Crime's an equal opportunity thing.
So anyway, Sam's going about his business, researching, investigating.
Looking for things for his client.
And he gets into a fight with one of Al-Qatan's henchmen. And this henchman, it's not Chris Christopherson, although that could be awesome.
He's played a couple of noir detectives himself.
He has. Sam gets into a fight with a henchman called Chris Croy. They have a heck of a history, and apparently Sam has broken his arm twice before and does again in this sucker.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I just want to take a minute. A lot of times we do stuff that's completely family friendly, sweet, wonderful. You can give it to anybody. There is a little bit of violence in here, nothing over the top, but it's there.
Yeah. Maybe a PG-13 kind of vibe to this one.
And there absolutely is, bad language. There's, swear words are given. It's not, it's a PG-13, maybe like a light R. It's not completely gross, but these things are discussed and these things are said.
Because it's not always a pretty world.
Yeah. In the post-apocalyptic world of 2015 San Francisco, it's not nice.
Yes.
And Sam, as a matter of fact, Sam is shot.
Yes, with a special kind of weapon called.
It's a little bit of this, it's a little bit of that.
Before time.
Yes. So actually, Zat, again, Stargate SG-1, they do have a gun on it that they call a Zat. You've been zatted, I'm going to use the Zat, etc. But Sam is shot with a Zad, which is a overload of veils. And it kind of messes his mind up a little bit.
Yeah.
Luckily, our hero is able to recover. Or is he?
Might have to read the book to find out.
Yeah, like I said, it's very noir, science fiction. I want to say that it's it reminds me of Blade Runner, just that general vibe, but that's me.
Yeah, a little.
And speaking of replicants, the colors definitely. And speaking of replicants,
yes, it's the future. So they got robots, or what they like to call.
Are they Jaggers? Are they Skeets? Are they Tweakies? Are they Works? They are not replicants.
No.
So Jaegers are the large robots piloted by humans that fought the giant monsters in Pacific Rim. Remember that?
Yeah. Yes, kaiju. in Pacific Rim 1 and 2. Because there was a sequel. Yes.
Beady, beady, beady.
In Twinkies, actually, there's a Twinkie, which is the robot that helps Buck Rogers in the 25th century, when it was the TV show in the 70s with Gil Gerard. Eventually
And yes,
voiced
you're right.
by
Mel Blanc. Originally,
Yeah.
all Twinkie would say was beady, beady, beady. But then, yeah. But then Mel Blanc started voicing him, and he said really great lines like, "You got it, Buck." And what was your favorite line?
I'm freezing my ball bearings off.
Classic family entertainment right there.
Right
now,
there.
Skeets. Skeets are...
Well, Skeets was actually a special robot that helped the DC hero Booster Gold, who came back from the future and was kind of like his own version of a flying Wikipedia at his ear for a number of years.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No,
but in this story, they're all called works.
Works. And these are, the works are, they take care of the grunt work. They're taking care of, so everybody's got a little bit more free time to sit there and play with their
veils.
With their veils.
Yeah. And see the world the way they'd like to, as opposed to the way the world is.
It's just, it's an interesting thought because it's a very, very sad world they're dealing with. So.
And then sadder things happen and mysteries ensue.
So, again, tonight we are talking about Clear. It's a comiXology original. Go to Amazon.com, check it out. The official blurb is this: a sci-fi mystery thrill ride into a strange dystopian future where neurological internet connection is transforming reality. Batman writer Scott Snyder and Detective Comics artist Francis Manapul unite to take readers on this hard-boiled sci-fi journey.
Yeah.
Again, this is part of the comiXology Originals line of exclusive digital content, and it's only available via comiXology Kindle and Amazon-like products. You can you read for free as part of your subscription to comiXology Original, comiXology Unlimited, Kindle Unlimited, or Amazon Prime. There's apps. You can read it on your devices. You can read it on
your phone, on your computer.
You can read it on your computer. But as we said, ultimately it will be collected into a book, the paper, via Dark Horse.
Yes.
Now, Scott Snyder.
Yeah. He's an
American writer.
Mm-hmm. Done things like American Vampire, Detective Comics, Batman Comics, Witches, Swamp Thing, and even Justice League. Run on Superman. He's done quite a few, but this is his own story.
Exactly.
His own head.
And Francis Manapul. Yeah, Francis Manapul is a Filipino-born comic book artist. I think he's Filipino-Canadian. He has been the writer and artist on DC's New 52, The Flash. He's an award winner for a recipient of the Joe Shuster Award for Outstanding Artist of the Year. He's worked with Detective Comics, Adventure Comics, Superman, Batman, Legion of Superheroes, and a bunch of other things.
Yes.
So,
quite the talented guy. And the book is very, very pretty. And a lot of fun.
It's pretty. Very vivid graphics, etc.
Yes.
Now, this week we did comiXology's Clear. Next week we're doing House of M.
Dun, dun, dun.
So in case you want to start reading up now.
Speaking of
strange,
twisted stories.
But tonight, our winner is JJ.
Kids on a roll.
Yes, good job, JJ.
I'll play it, JJ.
Hi, Caitlin.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Caitlin. Harold, all the rest of you guys.
Exactly. We really appreciate you spending time with us. Again, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit the whistle, hit the heart, hit the whatever.
Yeah.
We try to be here every Tuesday at 9. We
Send us an
love
email.
you to, exactly.
Send us a tweet.
It takes us a minute to respond to your emails. I'm just going to tell you now, but for the most part, we try, and we appreciate your feedback, your input.
Suggestions.
We're doing this.
Tell us what you read. Tell us what you like.
Yeah. This is not a professional slick production. We're doing this for fun. We're doing this. Hopefully you're having fun. You are welcome here, and we are happy to see you. And yeah. So
absolutely.
Until next week, be good. Have fun.
Keep reading comics.
Exactly. Bye.
And watch a good movies. Bye.